Real Madrid were expected to be unstoppable this season. How could they not be after adding Kylian Mbappe to their La Liga and Champions League-winning side? In reality, however, the start to this season hasn't been a smooth ride for Los Blancos. They are trailing behind La Liga leaders Barcelona and have now lost more games in the first 3 months of this season than in the whole of last season. Whether facing Hansi Flick's impressive Barca or teams like Milan and Borussia Dortmund, who arrived at the Bernabeu in 7th place in their respective leagues, it seems like any half-decent opponent can expose their frailties. And while many are pointing at Mbappe and the imbalance his rival has brought to the team, the truth is more complex. So why exactly has Real Madrid been struggling? The most obvious scapegoat for Madrid's recent struggles is the biggest change to their squad, the summer arrival of Kylian Mbappe. While his stats reflect 8 goals and 2 assists in 16 appearances, we haven't quite seen the game-changing impact we all expected from one of the world's best players. There's also a lingering sense that the Frenchman should be doing more for his team. Known for his poor work rate off the ball, he often struggles to find good positions in attack, neglects his pressing duties, and appears to give up when his team loses possession. Essentially, he's replicating the same style he displayed at PSG, albeit starting more centrally to accommodate Vinicius Jr. on the left. There's also a tendency for him to seek the ball too often, which, combined with not being a traditional striker, leads him to drift out to the left and occupy the wrong spaces, leading to overcrowding. Just as the front three of Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe struggled with disconnection from the rest of the PSG team, failing to track back and focusing solely on individual play, the same troubling pattern is emerging in Madrid. But while Mbappe has become a focal point of criticism, he's not at fault for many of the club's problems. Ancelotti's tactical adjustments following Mbappe's arrival have dramatically shifted the team's balance, with Jude Bellingham arguably bearing the brunt of this change. Bellingham has no doubt felt the impact of Toni Kroos' retirement. To compensate, Ancelotti has moved him into a deeper role and asked for more defensive contribution, which perhaps explains why the player had to wait 13 games into this season to bag his first goal after a sensational debut year where he scored 23 times. While Bellingham deserves some criticism for occasional mistakes and trying to do too much, he has been significantly affected by his constant positional changes and the lack of support from his teammates. Against Barcelona, for instance, he started as a right-sided midfielder, yet his average position during the match was deeper than that of Madrid's right-back, Lucas Vázquez, owing to the latter's defensive shortcomings. Ironically, Bellingham's best role may actually be as a false 9. Playing too deep doesn't suit him as his passing range isn't as varied as the likes of Kroos or Modric. When Ancelotti experimented with a 4-2-2 against Barcelona and Milan, it left Madrid with 2 wingers up front, pushing Bellingham out of his optimal position and sidelining one of their most effective players, Rodrigo, in the process. But last season, we all saw how effective the Diamond 4-2-2 formation was, with Bellingham at the top of the diamond, even without a traditional striker. It might be time to return to what worked so well. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, subscribe so that you don't miss out on our future videos. Bigger than the case for Mbappe is the blame that should fall on Florentino Perez and Madrid's sporting director, who have assembled a squad with inadequate defensive cover. After all, it was Perez's own obsession with the Galacticos 2.0 narrative that led to committing significant wage funds to secure a marquee signing like Mbappe at the Bernabeu. Considering the backline's history of injuries and the loss of Nacho on a free transfer, it's puzzling that they made only 2 signings this summer, both of whom are forwards. With Eder Militao's recent season-ending injury against Osasuna, that also leaves Antonio Rudiger as the only elite centre-back still fully fit. It was clear in the summer that Madrid needed at least one more centre-back and a right-back, so when Dani Carvajal suffered a season-ending knee injury at the end of October, the team was dealt a massive setback. Carvajal had a standout season last year that saw him finish 4th in the Ballon d'Or rankings, and despite his age and declining athleticism, he still remained an elite leader and fullback. Without him, Madrid's defense has looked a little lost, with Ancelotti's side already conceding 18 goals in 16 games across all competitions. Ferland Mendy isn't the same player who earned a contract renewal in the summer, and the once reliable pairing of Militao and Rudiger has been unrecognizable this season. While Lucas Vazquez is a decent stopgap at right back, known for his work rate and attacking contributions, he is still very much a converted winger and often plays like one. His lack of experience in one-on-one situations has been evident, as he was at fault for both goals scored by Dortmund in Madrid's eventual comeback win. Amid Madrid's poor squad planning, the retirement of Toni Kroos is proving to be the season's biggest loss. He was clearly the linchpin of the team, much like Rodri has been for Man City, and both sides have struggled without their key players. Without Kroos, Madrid lack a metronome. The play becomes either too frantic or too sluggish, and there's no one in the current squad who can effectively manage space, orchestrate movements, and spread play when needed. Valverde and Bellingham are fine passers of the ball, but they can't control the game's tempo like Kroos did. Modric is the closest in-house player to him, yet he's being underutilized in a deeper role. Meanwhile, Tchouaméni and Camavinga are better suited as destroyers. Last season, even when Madrid were under pressure for long spells, they could count on Kroos to regain control. Without him, they are more vertical, aggressive, and fast-paced, and while this approach can work, it can also lead to wide-open spaces between their lines. Since the start of the season, Madrid's desire to win from the outset has been lacking, scoring just 7 times in the first half of games compared to 28 after the break. When they've needed to respond to falling behind, it has often come too late, and even when they have secured a result, their wins haven't been entirely convincing. Despite a star-studded lineup, talent isn't enough on its own, and with so many titles under their belt, one has to wonder, are they becoming too complacent? Ancelotti appears to struggle with motivating the team and implementing his tactics. Furthermore, his focus seems limited to winning the next match, lacking a longer-term vision that includes resting fatigued players and taking risks on younger talents. He has not seriously explored the option of rotating the squad or giving players like Arda Güler and Endrick a chance to build their confidence and showcase their talent. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more football news, stories, and insights. Also, don't forget to hit notifications so you never miss a beat. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.